All right, today we are tackling one of the holy grails of baking, the impossibly tall, super flaky, just melt in your mouth butter biscuit. You know the ones I'm talking about. If you've ever dreamed of pulling a tray of those golden beauties out of your own oven, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get into it.
But let's be real for a second, because we have all been there, right? You follow a recipe to the letter, you get your hopes way up, and you end up with biscuits that are, well, more like hockey pucks than fluffy clouds. It's so frustrating. But I promise you, the solution is way, way simpler than you'd ever guess.
And here it is. This is the whole secret. The one, single, absolutely non-negotiable rule for amazing biscuits, just 3 little words. Keep it cold. Seriously, this isn't just a friendly tip. It's like the fundamental law of biscuit physics. Everything we're going to do from here on out, it all comes back to this one simple principle.
So here's the flaky biscuit promise. If we get kind of obsessed with protecting the cold, especially our butter, we can pretty much guarantee a biscuit that has those amazing, distinct, tender layers that just shoot up in the oven. It really is all about technique, not some kind of baking magic.
Okay, so let's get into the why behind this cold secret, because it's actually pretty cool. When you have those little pieces of solid cold butter hanging out in the dough, they hit that super hot oven and bam, they melt instantly. The water that's in the butter turns to steam, and that steam has to go somewhere, right? So as it pushes its way out, it literally forces the layers of dough apart, and that is what creates those incredible flaky layers we're all chasing. So, where do we put this principle into action? Well, it all starts with the ingredients themselves. Our mission to keep things cold begins right here. I want you to think of this list less as just a bunch of items and more like your official cold-keeping toolkit.
Okay, here's our full cast of characters. You've got your usual suspects, the flour, baking powder, salt, but I want you to laser focus on the 2 biggest stars of this show, the cold, unsalted butter and the cold buttermilk. These 2, they're the absolute non-negotiables.
First up, the butter. We're talking half a cup, which is 1 stick. Now, here's the key. You're going to cube it up into small pieces and then put it right back in the fridge. Or even better, pop it in the freezer for a few minutes. Don't take it out until the absolute last second you need it. Trust me, the colder the better. And our other VIP, very important player, is 1 cup of buttermilk. It adds this amazing, tangy flavor and makes the biscuit so tender. And, you guessed it, just like the butter, you're going to keep it in the fridge until the very moment you're ready to pour it in. Oh, and if you don't have buttermilk on hand, no worries. You can just use regular milk with a splash of lemon juice or vinegar.
All right, this next part, this is where the magic really happens. I'm not kidding. This is where the battle for cold is either won or lost. We're talking about the most critical step, mixing that cold butter into our dry ingredients. So first things first, let's get that oven cranked up to a nice, hot 425 degrees. While it's preheating, go ahead and whisk all of your dry ingredients together in a big bowl. Then, and I mean only when you're ready to go, you bring out that super cold butter and dump it into the flour.
And this right here, this is your visual goal. You're going to work that butter into the flour until it looks like coarse crumbs. And this is so important, you need to leave some pieces of butter about the size of small peas. Do not overmix. Those little pea-sized butter pockets, those are your future steam explosions. That's where all the flakiness comes from.
Okay, now you're going to pour in that cold buttermilk, and your brain is going to scream at you to mix it until it's a perfect smooth dough. You have to fight that urge. Do not do it. What you actually want is a shaggy, kind of sticky, messy-looking dough. Seriously, if you overmix, you develop the gluten and melt the butter, and that's a one-way ticket to tough biscuits, so please, embrace the mess.
Okay, so we've protected those little pockets of cold butter. Now we're going to multiply them. This next step, the folding, is how we manually build all those gorgeous layers right into the dough. Think of it as a super simple version of what pastry chefs do for croissants. And the process couldn't be easier. You don't even need a rolling pin, just use your hands. You're going to gently pat the dough into a rectangle, fold it in half, turn it 90 degrees, and then just do it again. That's it. The best way to think about this is exactly like you're closing a book. It's a simple, gentle action. You're not squishing it, you're not kneading it, you're just layering. Every single fold creates more and more of those butter and dough layers.
So, how many times do we repeat this? 4 to 5 times is the magic number. That's going to give you tons of flaky layers without accidentally overworking the dough or, worse, warming up that precious, precious butter.
We are so close. We're on the home stretch.
We have built all this incredible potential for a massive rise and tons of flaky layers, and this last section is all about making sure we don't mess it up at the very end.
Now, this might just be the single most important tip in this whole explainer. When you cut out your biscuits, you have to push the cutter straight down and pull it straight back up. Whatever you do, do not twist it. When you twist, you seal the edges of the dough. It basically glues all those layers we just created shut, and your biscuits won't be able to rise as high.
Okay, now it's time for a little choose-your-own-adventure moment, depending on what kind of biscuit you like best. If you love those super soft pull-apart sides, then you're going to want to place them so they're actually touching on the baking sheet. But if you're a fan of those crispy golden brown edges all around, give them a little breathing room, about an inch apart.
And now into that hot oven they go. We're baking at 425 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes. You'll know they're done when they've puffed up beautifully and have a nice deep golden brown color on top.
And that's it. You did it! By just sticking to that one single rule, keep it cold, through every single step, you've pretty much achieved biscuit mastery. All that careful work is about to pay off in the most glorious, delicious way.
Oh, and if you want to take it over the top, here's the final touch. The second they come out of that hot oven, brush the tops with a little melted butter. It's not just for looks, it adds that final hit of rich, buttery flavor. So good.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that you now hold the key. See, it was never about some secret ingredient you were missing. It was always about the technique. And now that you understand why keeping things cold is so important, you can make incredible, bakery-worthy biscuits anytime you want. So, now that you've mastered the secret, what are you going to make next?